Thank you, Marcus. Welcome back to the main arena now. As you say, they've had some battles, these two, in the past. Most recently, last year's Australian Open. Most memorably, that one at the US Open back in 2008 when Andreev pushed Federer for the full 5 sets. Andreev, who's yet to win back-to-back matches this year, though. A string of first-round losses on really his favourite surface in South America, and then played recently in Delray Beach. Lost out to Ryan Sweeting in the first round there. In the first round here, the other night, did get the better of Kei Nishikori, the Japanese player. Certainly played his part, but perhaps Nishikori, of course, understandably preoccupied with events back home.
Well, as everyone's been saying, Andreev certainly has the game to make things a little awkward for Federer. That heavy spin up high to the backhand side. Big first serve. Question is, does he have the bottle to beat him?
A quarter-finalist 5 years ago here. The best that Andreev has managed. Up against the three-time champion in Federer. Good angle to close that first game, so Andreev on the board at the start of this, their fourth encounter. Battling for the right to face Ceyla or Peschner. Now has Ceyla gone through? I need to double check the results for you. He has indeed. He got the better of Peschner today, 4-6, 7-5, 6-2. So the Argentine will await the winner of this one. Federer courtside.
Andreev spent a lot of his formative years in Valencia, where Federer is from. And the Pila is next to Federer. Well, at the moment, Andreev looks better than his results would suggest he is, given this year. But he, I'm surprised he's sort of lost his way to a certain extent in the manner that he has. I know he's had a few injuries, but seem to have had that sort of well of self-belief that a lot of players have. Certainly has an awkward game, I think, to play against. never going to return great. I suppose that's one of the things. He's not going to get involved as much as he needs to against a lot of players, particularly on this type of surface. Big grip changes. Doesn't really have any ability to maybe block the ball back to a length like a lot of the guys, or necessarily drive the ball actually in an aggressive return, or occasionally snap off a few big forehand winners.
He has 3 titles to his name, but they came way back 2005. Valencia, Palermo, and then indoors in Moscow. Three quarter-finals he's made in the Masters. I mentioned the one here, a couple since then, Miami and Monte Carlo 2008. And despite his years on the tour, just the one quarter-final that he's managed in the Grand Slams, which was at the French Open some 4 years ago.
Which for a lot of players actually would be a reasonable haul in terms of their career, but for Andreev, I thought there was always a little bit more there.
One more game at least. 2-1 first set. Early stages, Federer and Andreev. Nothing of great note so far as they continue on serve. Julian Benneteau, well, he won that first set against Meltzer 6-1, but the Austrian has replied in kind, winning the second set by the same score, so they're into a decider.
Who said sport was played in the head?
Quick update on that Harrison-Garcia-Lopez battle on Stadium 2. 3-2 Harrison with a break advantage, but facing break points again in that second set. Damien Steiner from Argentina, the umpire. Federer always likes to get that first match under the belt coming into a tournament. Playing his first one, of course, since losing out to Djokovic again in Dubai.
Some width on that, didn't he? Andreev having to do a very swift court sprint there to try and track that ball down. Federer doing well to maintain his lead in that rally by drifting it up the line.
And Federer has Djokovic breathing down his neck in the rankings. Currently 165 points. The difference between the two coming into this event. Federer, of course, last year losing early. That match he lost from match points up against Baghdadis, so he's only got 45 points dropping off. Djokovic, well, he's got 90 dropping off himself. But should they meet in the semi-finals, and they're seeded to do so, if Djokovic were to win that, then he would go to number 2. Oh, spectacular. That lights up the crowd.
Well, this was just worth the price of admission alone, that point. Andreev going toe-to-toe there was doing a fairly good job, but there you can see Federer just monitoring where his baseline was, didn't want to come off it, cracking that forehand winner. Didn't get his feet out of the way, and that's just something I feel in the rush. He just doesn't seem to be able to get rounded as quickly as he used to be. I don't know whether that's because of the sort of knee injury that is sustained or what, but just again there, just get tucked up, and that's a really cheap error. You can't afford those against Federer. Evening things out.
A couple have flown from his racket already that have gone way long. Of course they do in these parts, through the desert air.
They do at times from his racket as well, more often than he would sometimes like at the moment.
Federer threatens somewhat in that game, but can't make the most of it, and Andreev again pushes in front.